Hello, kiddos. I hope that you are doing well. We are going to go ahead and watch this video today on how we're going to take our presentation and we're going to turn it into something that is ready to present, which is what we're going to be working on next week. So the way that we're going to do this today is we are going to actually go ahead and you guys are going to choose a pre-selected theme. So you guys won't be changing backgrounds, changing fonts or colors or anything. We're going to pick one of 3 pre-selected themes. So the way that you're going to do that is we're going to hit slide. We're going to go down to change theme. So again, that's slide from your options menu down to the bottom, change theme, and it's going to open up the themes available to you that are pre-made. The 3 that you guys have to choose from are, you have Luxe, which is this simple white with these goldenrod accents. You can pick blue and gold, which is this blue, right? With kind of these green accents in some places, greeny yellow. And then the last one you can pick is Marina. This is blue with green accents, the darker blue, right? So these are 3 fairly professional ones. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this blue and gold for mine. And what you're going to do is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look through all of your slides. So you can see Miss Wolf has already gone ahead. I've turned all of my slides so that they're easy to kind of access and read. They're just short bullets or lists, right? And here's what you guys are looking for. On your guys' stuff, if you have copied and pasted something from another place and you've not done it correctly, it's going to kind of look weird like this, right? So what you're going to go ahead and do is we need to fix that, right? Now, you should not be copying and pasting anything directly. I do have some copy and paste, and that's mainly because I did a poem. So I picked one of my favorite poems by Maya Angelou, and that's where this kind of funkiness came in. So I got ahead. All right. So the problem that I'm seeing on this slide is you could see with this type of presentation, you can see I have this little white line that's kind of cutting up my words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to layout and I'm going to change my layout to blank. That's going to keep everything else that I have on the slide, but it's going to allow me now to kind of just minorly adjust some of these and not have that funky white guy hanging out, right? I'm just going to go ahead, clean that up a little bit, and now you can see I have this poem go straight across. Go ahead with this. I'm going to make sure that my font is correct. All right. So everything is now good with this. And then my final slide is my resources. I had opened up this resource earlier. That's why it's a different color. So now that I have this, you guys are going to have to look at which you picked. You are going to have to include a couple pictures. Not every slide needs a picture. I would say you will see when we have what is expected of you. I believe it is a minimum of 4 images. So you got to at least have 4. You may not want to do an image on the very first slide. You may want to, right? This one definitely has some space. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to look up an image of Maya Angelou. This is going to bring me up to honorary degrees because I searched that previously. All right. So now I have all of these images of Maya Angelou. I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick one of them. All right, sorry guys, so I'm back. So I looked through these pictures, I scrolled through, and I found that the one that I wanted to use for my front page was this one here. It has this really nice quote and her date, year of birth, year of death. And I think that this quote really, shows Maya Angelou well. So what I did was I found this one, I right-clicked, I opened image in a new tab. Right? That opens up the image. Actually, I think I just said open in a new tab, but it brings me here. I'm going to right click, copy this image, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to right click, paste, or control V. Sometimes that works. And now I'm just going to resize this image so that it fits, right? So you can see there's these red lines on the screen. Those are guidelines. Sometimes what that will do is it will help you. You can see it help me center it on this side so that it's equidistant from the top and bottom. And it has this nice little chunk here on the side so that it doesn't look weird and out of place. Now, once you put your theme, something else that you can do is you can insert an image and you can do search the web. It's going to open images right here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look up Maya Angelou. Right. And so here you can see I have a bunch of other pictures of Maya Angelou that we can pick from if I wanted to. Okay. So you can do that either way. Now I'm going to go to date born, and then I have date of birth and date of death. These are fairly simple, right? I don't feel like we need to do too much, but maybe I can look maybe for an image. So we can do Maya Angelou childhood photos. Okay, so here we see we have a bunch of pictures of her as a child, which I think that would actually be kind of good to have. So I'm going to pick one. I think this is a really cute baby picture. I'm going to hit copy image, and then for date of birth, right, I'm going to hit boop, paste. So now I have this baby picture. Just resize it. Okay. And there we go. All right. So then I can go to date of death. I'm going to leave this one blank. And then what field were they in? So Maya Angelou was an American poet and memoirist and a civil rights activist. She was also known for singing, dancing, and acting. So you can see I actually had this picture up here. Maya Angelou was famously in a TV show called Roots. This is actually a scene from that. You can see here is a picture when she was a dancer. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to see back to Maya Angelou. Maybe we'll look for, okay. And you can see like it actually has quite a bit of pictures of her as a dancer, right? Remember for your guys, you're probably not going to have as much because Maya Angelou is a writer. She is not a scientist. So you're going to have to use the pictures you have available to you. But we don't just need to have pictures necessarily of the person, right? When we have, where did they grow up? She was born in St. Louis, Missouri. So let's look up St. Louis, Missouri. I want to find a picture of St. Louis. I think that, let's see. This one, these are pretty cool with the arch. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to copy this one. And I'm going to go ahead and paste. Now, this is a long, wide picture. So I'm going to have to play with this a little bit, right? I might need to crop it a little bit. So this is kind of where I want it. You can see it's still a little big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the image. I'm going to use the crop image tool. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a little bit off of each side just to kind of keep it neat. Right? And I'm going to click off and then I can replace it. And now it fits a little bit better in the space. I can actually maybe bring it up here. I'm going to drop it down just a tad. Right? So there we go. Now I have a picture of St. Louis, Missouri. Right? Who was their family? So we can see Maya Angelou mom. We'll see if they give us an image of her. So we don't have a picture when I look here, Maya Angelou mom. I'm going to go ahead back to my images here. I'm going to say, I definitely spelled her first name wrong, but we'll see. So here's a picture of Maya Angelou with her mother. Here's another one. I think that this one looks really good. So I'm going to copy this image. And who was their family? I'm going to paste that here. All right. And again, you guys are going to have to do some resizing. And again, you can see I was looking for that red guideline to kind of get this centered on the slide. So now, I'm not going to include one on did they go to college or university, marriage, children, notable. These ones have a lot of words. I'm not really going to put a lot here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to fill in these 2 slides. What field were they in? Let's look for Maya Angelou. Now, one thing about Maya Angelou is she was a train car conductor, or rather a streetcar conductor. I want to see if they have an image of her as a streetcar conductor. So she was the first Black female streetcar conductor in San Francisco. So I want to see if maybe they have any of that. It doesn't look like they do too much. I have a picture of her when she was young, but it's not actually her in like the uniform or anything. So you can see I'm kind of like pressing other things, scrolling through, not really finding anything of interest. All right, so I'm going to try something else for an image to see if I can find something. So I'm going to pause this video, find something, and I'll show you what I got. All right, guys. So what I chose to do for her field that she was in, Maya Angelou was known to be a poet, and she actually read quite a few poems at inauguration. So I specifically like this 1993 inauguration look that she has. So I want to look through here. This was for President Clinton. This was when I was little. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick one of these. I think I like this one the best. I'm going to go ahead. You can see it came up. I'm going to copy this image. I'm definitely going to crop this because I think it's a little big, but we'll see. A lot of this is you guys just kind of trying to figure out what works, what looks well, right? So this actually ends up filling the safe space nicely. I'm just going to center it between this line and below. And then for death, what I wanted to do was Maya Angelou actually received an award from President Obama. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search that up because I think that this was towards the end of her life. She passed away in 2014, and I believe this was given in 2010. So I think that this is a really good kind of image of her that kind of commemorates who she was. There's a lot of kind of good options here, right? We have this one where President Obama kind of is whispering in your ear. She kind of looks a little sad. We have this one where she's getting the award. I'm going to go ahead. I think I like this one where she's actually getting the award. She's got this smile. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to paste that here. Okay, and then I'm going to, again, try to center it a little bit. All right, so now that I have my images, right, I'm very image heavy in the top and towards the end, I kind of stop with those images. These are the bulk of the information anyway, right? If I really wanted to, I could maybe find like a picture of her son or found a picture of one of her spouses. But I think that having these images at the top, for me personally, I think that this works really well. And then at the end here, I have this work, so it fills up the whole page. Okay. Then we have resources at the end. So now I'm done with my images. I don't have to play anything with my font or my colors or anything because remember we're choosing the pre-made theme. So all that we have left to do now, guys, is add some animations. We don't want to add a ton of animations. All that I'm going to do is I'm going to hit right click, transition, and then I'm going to click a transition. I personally like to do the gallery transition. I like to apply that to all slides. And you can see when I present, please present, right? And I hit, it just kind of has this gallery view, right? So that's one thing that you can do. You guys can do a different one for each one. I would recommend just picking one style that you like. That's a little more, remember, we want this to be kind of more professional. So I think just choosing one is much more professional. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm not going to add a ton of animation. You guys only have, I believe it is 3 animations for this one that you need to do. So I'm going to animate just a couple of things. So the first one I'm going to animate is this picture of Maya Angelou. I am going to have it fade in on click, but I'm going to slow down the speed with which it fades in. So I'm going to go here, and then when I click, it's going to kind of fade in a little slower, right? I think this is pretty impactful. It allows me some time to introduce myself. And I'm actually going to slow it down a little more. And instead of on click, I'm going to say after previous. So now when I hit after previous, as soon as the slide shows up, it's going to start fading in, right? So you can adjust that time. I might actually give it slower still. I'm going to go here, down here. So let's see. So now you can see it kind of comes in slow. So remember, this is going to be the start of your presentation. So it'll be like, hello, my name is Mrs. Wolf, and I today will be giving you a quick look into Maya Angelou. And that's going to kind of come in the background as I speak. So I only need 3 transitions for this. I'm going to go ahead, and one of the ones that I want to do is I'm going to have this notable work slide in. So I'm going to add an animation. I'm going to fade in after previous. This one I want to be fairly quickly, right? And then I want to add this animation. Instead of on click, I want to say after previous, and I'm going to super slow this one down. Sorry about the Bruce. Same with this one. I'm going to super slow this one down, and instead of after previous. And the reason why I'm wanting to do that is because now when I present this slide, right, we have this first one coming in as you're reading it, the other 2 will start to come up, right? So it kind of gives me this kind of waterfall across. And I think that looks really nice, right? Especially because it's such a long piece of work. The only one that frustrates me is this middle one. It just does not work with the rest. I have played with this slide visually a bunch. All right, we're going to try that. We'll see how that works. All right, so now that I have at least 3 animations, right? I could technically do one more, but I don't necessarily know if it's needed. The only thing that I might do, and that's just because the person that I'm doing, there is a lot of information on her. I can do my Angelou quote, right? And what I could do is pick one of these and like add an additional slide, right? You don't have to do that. I'm not actually going to do that. I think I have 3 transitions in here. That's good. So now that you guys have all of that done, you're pretty much done. Once we finish this up, this is now good for us to practice our, so on Wednesday, you guys are going to learn how to give a presentation and you guys are going to practice. And then on Friday, we're actually going to be recording our presentations. Okay. So that is just about all we have today. If you do have any questions, remember it is Friday. So if we aren't in the classroom because of snow and we're remote, or if we are in the classroom or hybrid and you're having some difficulties, just reach out to staff and we will be glad to kind of go ahead and help you out. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.